Okay guys, so on this video, we are in chapter 2. We're on lesson 6, page 138, okay? And we're going to be talking about how to estimate percents of certain numbers. So here's a few examples I want to just briefly talk through. So if you're estimating a percent, it says estimate 47% of 692, then you just need to round to the nearest percent, okay? And the nearest number, really, is what they're having you do. So 47% is close to 50%. So what they're saying is 47%, which is very close to 50%, is like this, okay? Which is also written as 1/2. So for example, if I divide by 50 and 50, that's the same thing as 1/2, okay? And then they rounded 692 to 700. So 1/2 of, so to estimate 47% of 692, that's pretty much like thinking about it like, what's 1/2 of 700? Well, 1/2 of, and the word of means multiplication, of 700, so 1 times 700, and the 2 just kind of carries over. You can think of it like this, 2 times 1 is just 2. So 700 divided by 2 is 350. So to estimate, they're just rounding to the nearest number, or estimate 60% of 27. Well, 60%, and if you divide by 20 on top and bottom, 60 divided by 20 is going to be 3. 100 divided by 20 is going to be 5. So 3/5. See how they say 60 is 3/5? Well, we got the same thing, 3/5. Now of 27, well, we can round that to 25 if we wanted. Okay, so it says round 27 to 25 since it is divisible by 5. So just really round it to whatever number that's divisible by 5 is closest. Okay, so it could be 25 or 30, but 25 is actually a little bit closer. So the question becomes, what is 3/5 of, there's that multiplication word, of 25. Okay, well, I'm going to show you a trick when multiplying fractions here. So when you're multiplying fractions, it's really like this. It's just 3 times 25 on the top, and you have 5 times 1 on the bottom. I can put times 1 if I want, that's fine. And 3 times 25 is all on top, which is the same as 75. And then 5 times 1 is all on the bottom. Now, here's the trick, though. I can't do 3 divided by 5 very easily, but I can do 25 divided by 5. Do you guys watching the video know what 25 divided by 5 is? 25 divided by 5 is just 5, okay? So I canceled this 5 and the 25 out, and it just became a 5. So 3 times 5 over 1. So that's the same as 15 over 1. Or just 15. So it says, so 60% of 27 is about 15. Okay? Now, coming back up here, you could also just do 3 times 25, which is 75 over 5. And then you would have divided 75 by 5, and that would have still been 15. Okay? So multiple ways of looking at fractions, but you guys need to get used to seeing fractions because fractions are very real. There's more fractions in the real world than solid, perfect numbers, okay? All right, estimate each percent. So 48% of 76. 48 is about 50. 50% of 76. All right, well, how do we simplify this? Well, we need to realize 50 and 100 can simplify to be 1/2, okay? Then times 76. So 1 times 76 is 76 over 2, and I can simplify that even one more time. So 76 divided by 2 is going to be, let's see, 35, 38. So that equals 38. Or estimate 18% of 40. So I would say 18 is very close to 20, so 20% of 42 is very close to 40. Now 20 divided by 100 can simplify. If you divide by 20 and 20 on the top and the bottom, then you're going to get 1/5 of 40. So this is going to be 40 divided by 5. 40 divided by 5 is going to be 8. Okay, I'm just going to skip this one for the sake of time, and I'm going to come over here and point out this estimate using the rate per 100. This is very useful, but it's only useful when it says estimate like 17% of, and the number that it says of is very close to like a solid 100, like 100 or 200, or you'll see some examples that say 300 or 500 or whatever, but it's very close to that perfect 100 number. So remember, percent means out of 100, so 17 out of 100. So if I have 17 out of 100, what about 17 out of, in this case, that's very close to 200. So that means 17 out of 100, but I'm going to do it twice. So look, since 200 is 100 and 100, then if you have 17%, you can do 17 plus 17 for something that's close to 200, okay? So that'll serve as very quick, so there's the answer, 34. That'll serve as a very, very quick way of estimating later. Let's do it right here real quick. So 27% of 307. So 307 is very close to 300. So really, that's 100 3 times. So I'm going to do 27. There's 27 out of each 100. So each 100. So there's 300. So there's 3 27s. And that's going to be 60, 81. So E is about 81. So it's really easy to estimate. Or 76 of 192, well, that's about 200. So I need 2 76s. So 76 plus 76. So that's 140, 152. You see how easy that is? So that's called using a rate per 100. That's what the book calls a rate per 100. Now, most of the time you can't do that because, for example, right here, that's not close to 100. So you need to do this sort of problem. Well, let me get my paper. Now I'm at a point where I can use the paper that I actually made a copy of. Okay, so estimate each percent. So we're still on page 140. This type, because that's not near 100, you have to do it like this. So that's near 20%, so 20%. And then of, let's say 50. Okay, so 20 over 100 is very close to 1/5. Not very close, it is 1/5. And then times 50. So 50 over 5. And then 50 divided by 5 is just 10. 21 of 96. Now look, this is very close to 100. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and say it's 21. Now, that's me using this estimate using rate per 100. That's me doing that again. But look, I'll do it a regular way now. So this is very close to 20%. Let me get a pencil. Okay, so this is very close to 20% of 100. Okay, so 20 over 100 is 1/5 of 100, which equals 100 over 5, which is actually, in this case, 20. Okay, now, again, we are estimating. That's why these numbers are a little bit off, okay? But they're very close, which means our estimates were accurate given what we did, okay? So anyway, that's the 2 examples. That's the first one, in red, was me using this rate per 100, and the second one is, I would say, the way that I normally think about it, okay? A more useful way. Okay, so 60%. 59 is very close to 60, so I'm thinking about this as 60% of 16. So 60%, if I divide by 20 and divide by 20, that's about 3/5 times 16. So that's 18. oh, sorry, that's 48. 3 times 16 is 48 over 5. And I don't think I can simplify that, so I'm just going to leave it as 48 over 5. Okay. A purse that originally cost 29.99 AED is on sale for 50% off. About how much is the sale price of the purse? Okay, well, let's round that to 30. So I want 50% of $30 or 30 dirham. 50% is about, not even about, it is 1/2. So we want 1/2 of 30. So 1 times 30 is 30 over 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So it's about 15 dirham. Okay. Mr. Taser received a bonus of 500 AED. Okay, that's about 500 from his employer. He has to pay 33% of his bonus to taxes. How much will Mr. whoever pay in taxes? Okay, so got a bonus of this. He has to pay about 33%. So let's do it like this. Check this out. I'm gonna do this. Estimate using rate per 100. So see how close that is to 100? So that's 5 hundredths. This is 33%. 33 per 100. So if I have 5 hundredths, watch. 33 plus 33 plus. There's a 33 for every 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths. Okay, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 150 plus 15 is 165 equals 165. All right, on to the next one. So now we're on page 141. Let's go through a few more of these real quick. That's about 50%, and that's about 120. So 50% of 120. Now we should be getting used to seeing 50% as being written as like a 1/2 of 120. So we have 120 over 2. So 120 divided by 2 is 60. 20% of 72. 20% of 72. So remember, we're estimating. That's why I said that's 20, okay? Because that's about what it is. So 20%, if I divide by 20 and 20, is the same as 1/5 times 72. 1 times 72, 72 over 5. All right, well, I could do a little bit better job estimate. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't round this. That's why I could do a better job estimating. If I made that a 70, that a 70, and that a 70, that means 70 over 5 would be about 14. So I could have done a better job estimating there. So 14 is about what it is. 40% of 16. So I'm going to say that's about 15. So 40% of 15. 40% is about 2 over 5 of 15. So 2 over 5 of 15. So 2 times 15 is 30. 30 over 5. And that's going to equal 6. 67% of 296. Now, I'm going to use the rate per 100 thing. That's about 3 hundredths. So that's about 3 hundredths, and this is 67, so 67 per 100, 67%, 67 per 100, 100, 200, 300. Okay, so 6, 12,